Let's continue our lesson. 46th question is about rock characteristics. There are 4 characteristics has been given and we have to decide which characteristics are correct from the options given. There are 4 characteristics, that is, these are layered, these contain fossils, these are transported rocks, these are formed in water bodies. All the 4 characteristics are features of sedimentary rocks. So all the options are correct. Okay, now moving to the next question. Negative movements of base level produce. There are 4 options and the correct answer is rejuvenation. Negative movements of base level produce rejuvenation. Rejuvenation occurs when the river's base level or sea levels fall. This can be results of fall in seawater amount or the land rising. We can understand from this diagram. Suppose this red dashed line, that was the original sea level. That is the original sea level, and after some period of time the ocean fall to this red dashed line, and so this land is come under the effect of the effect of base level, that is negative movement of base level, means the sea level has been decreased, and here this will start to erode this part, and this is called knickpoint, means there is an abrupt slope. And similarly, after some period of time, this dash line means the sea level fall to this level, that is present day sea level. So now again this point will become nick points. Okay, now let's see rejuvenation. If land emerge from the sea following a negative change in base level, means this base level has been changed negatively. The potential energy of river for erosion is revived. Suppose the river was flowing here and merges in the sea here, but now this base level has been decreased to this layer, so the potential energy of the river will increase and regraded of river can occur. That's why this point will be called nick point. We can understand nick point from this diagram. When this point has where the river was merging in sea, but due to the level of sea has been decreased to this point, so there is change in the base level, so there will be a nick point develop. Now understand nick point from this diagram also. Suppose the river was flowing here and this was the old sea level. Old sea level was here and river was merging in sea here. But when the sea level decreases, that is negative, comes to here after some period of time, then this space will create potential for the river to go once again, and they will erode here, and this point will be known as nick point, or that will form waterfall or rapids, as we can see from this image. So our question was negative movements of base level produce rejuvenation. Now moving to the, and there are Other options like saltation, attrition, stabilization, all options are important, so we should understand what they actually mean. Look carefully on this diagram. Here the small dotted particles are flowing in the river. They are collided with each other. That is called attrition, and abrasion happens on the river ground, that is bed ground, and they are in huge size, boulders, pebbles, and solution happens due to chemical processes, and this cracks due to hydraulic actions as there is pressures due to water. This image shows that the water is coming from our laptop or mobile. Sorry. So we can understand what is attrition, abrasion, solution, and another in option there was a term stabilization. Now understand, this is an image from the desert area. If this will the planting of tree or the grasses will not there, the sand will move, but once there will be some bushes or grasses or plants, then the sand will stop there. That is called stabilization. Now understand about saltation. Saltation happens due to, it can be happen due to winds or even in liquid form in water, as they are sorted. Understand saltation from this also. Look at the image carefully. This is creeping, means the large surface or large particle creeping on the land surface, means moving on the ground. And saltation, they are in suspended form and they are collided with each other, that is attrition. And saltation particles are moving from this way, up, down, and suspended, and then comes on the ground, then again they are moving in up and down, that is saltation. They are sorted by wind action or even in liquid, that is in river. And this shows the dust particles that is suspended in air, that is suspension. Now moving to the next question. Okay, let me repeat once again the what was the question we are talking about. Negative movement of base level produce rejuvenation, and we also understand stabilization and attrition and saltation. Let's move to the next question. Which one of the following plateau can be considered as intermontane? Intermontane means the plateau which are surrounded by mountains, that is called intermontane or intermountain. There are four options. Tibet is the correct answer, and other example is Bolivian plateau is also a intermontane plateau. Look carefully on this diagram. This part is a plateau and on it is surrounded by mountains. That plateau is called intermontane plateau. So look carefully the spelling of intermontane. Here the intermontane is Montane, and we can also called as intermountain. Both are same thing. Let's move to the next question. The sea attained its present level during the geological period. There are 4 periods given and the correct answer is Cambrian. But I have doubts on these answers, but if you find any satisfied answer then let me know. But as per now we considered Cambrian is the correct answer for sea attain its present level during the geological period. Now from geological scale, time scale, this table if you can memorize it is good, but if you can't, just remember 4 things, that is Aeon, era, period, epoch. The question can be framed from these 4 terms. Which of them have longer duration? Can you see it? Let me zoom in. Okay, here. Aeon, era, period and epoch. Aeon has longer duration than era, than period and epoch. So remember, Aeon has the longer duration as compared to others geological time scale. And moving to the next question, that is the last question of the day. The unconsolidated rock material deposited by surface was at the base of a cliff is called Colluvium. As we have already discussed about Colluvium, try to recollect from this image. On the slope, on the foot base, there are some deposition. That is called colluvium, and we can say unconsolidated rock material deposited by surface was at the base of a cliff is called colluvium. And we have understand moraines, terminal moraines. Once the tarn is formed due to glaciation, the debris are deposited at the end point, that is on the terminal point, that is moraine. And colluvium this is, and alluvium is developed due to floods, as river brings fertile soil and deposited on the banks or on the floodplain, that is alluvium. And silt is very fine particles. That's all. Thank you so much.